I want to welcome you today to my Slim Body Laser Spa's Health and Wellness Show, where we're going to be talking about diet myths and facts today. So let's get on with that show. All right. Oops, let's get to the right one here. All right. So there we go. All right. I'll get this down. Thank you for tuning in and bumbling through this with me. My name is Dr. Tred Rissacker, and I want to welcome you to another edition of my Slim Body Laser Spa's Health and Wellness Show. And I'm using lasers to help people to look better, to feel better, to lose weight, to make it much easier to body sculpt, to change your appearance, if that's something that you choose to do. Not everybody wants to, but if you need help with it, we can help you. These are some of the demographics we call. These are the type of people that would be interested in embracing our laser assisted weight loss. Usually it's people that suffer with stubborn fat. Okay. Now there's a lot of you out there that are struggling with stubborn fat pockets that just don't respond to diet and exercise. No matter how hard you try, lose the weight, buy your Fitbit and work very hard at it. There's certain areas you just can't change. They're usually subcutaneous, and they would be what would be bulging over your pant, over your waist size, around your arms, around your knees, inner thighs. These are stubborn areas that need outside help if you want to reduce them. Dieting and exercise, for most of you, especially if you're over 50, isn't going to cut it to really change those areas. That's why so many of these procedures have appeared, these things that we do. A lot of people have time constraints. They're just busy people that don't have the time to commit to diet, exercise, and the proper discipline it takes to maintain and sustain healthy weight and a better look, with exercise. At the laser spa, Slim Body Laser Spa, we have a laser which will help you to look better, to feel better while you lie on your back and listen to music. It's really that exciting. And that's what we do there. So if you're too busy and you don't have time to hit the gym and to put all that effort in, coming into the Slim Body Laser Spa is a huge help with that. All right. It's not going to take the place of exercise and diet and, things like that, but it is super, super effective at getting you started and getting you through that initial, oh my God, I have no motivation to do this. Okay. So that's why it works so well. Number 3 is there's a lot of you out there that would love to get rid of some of that extra belly fat, or to tighten your chin, or to tone the arms or the inner thighs. And you've been thinking about surgery, but you want to avoid surgery at all costs. Well, this process, using a low-level laser at the Slim Body Laser Spa, we can body sculpt and we can get very similar results to somebody that would do liposuction within reason, of course, but without any downtime, no surgery, no painful incisions, no compressive garments, no healing time at all. This low-level laser that we're using at the Slim Body Laser Spa is FDA cleared and FDA approved for surface circumduction of inch loss around the waist, thighs, and the flanks. Okay, FDA approved. There's a lot of you out there that don't want the pain and discomfort that come with these types of procedures. Not my procedure, but a lot of them. The fat freezing, the fat burning, the fat melting. These hurt. These can be painful. And maybe you're looking for something which is painless and safe. Well, that would be the Slim Body Laser Spa. There's a lot of you out there that are suffering with different visible signs of aging. As the clock is ticking and we go around the sun, which is 1 year it takes us to travel around the sun and the earth on the planet, we start to look older. And a lot of that can come from excess body fat. which has created stretch tissue laxity and looseness. And the laser treatment to subcutaneous fat can also help to tighten and to tone loose skin without any cutting, without any removal, which is a wonderful thing. So if you're looking for toning and getting rid of some of the visible signs of aging through body contouring, Slim Body Laser Spa is superstar at that. Maybe you have health concerns. A lot of people out there, if you're, just recently been diagnosed with hyperglycemia or fatty liver disease, or your cholesterol numbers are high and you've been put on a statin, or maybe your triglycerides, your overall circulating body fat is too high. These are biomarkers of problems within your metabolism, which will present as weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, getting obese. If this is happening to you and you're over 40 or 50 years old, you need medical help to get this thing, reined in. And I don't mean going to a medical doctor and having him give you pills or injections or shots. That's a foolish way to go about it. Once you figure out that it's, there's other options available, Slim Body Laser Spa becomes a real winner when it comes to this kind of body sculpting and this kind of improvement in how you look and how you feel without any downtime. Maybe you've had post-pregnancy, you've had some children and you've been left over with a layer of belly fat that is not going away. You did your breastfeeding, you did everything you were told to do, and you're left over with a pouch, a kangaroo pouch, and they're not friendly. And we can help you with that extra tissue, which is building up on your lower abdomen, called the apron. We can shrink it, we can reduce it, in a series of laser sessions without any pain or downtime whatsoever. It's almost sounds too good to be true, but it is true. A lot of you out there, I did several consults this week of people that had some major weight loss. They were successful at losing weight. And what happened is they ended up with loose skin as a result of it. And a lot of people are looking to get help with that loose skin. Nobody wants to have that happen, but it happens. And then what happens is you're really stuck with it. It's really hard to change that, to make it better with just normal exercise and dieting, which is where the Slim Body Laser Spa is just so powerful, And so that's why we would do that. If you're looking at targeting loose skin after significant weight loss, you got to try this first before you go in for any kind of cutting or any kind of surgical removal of skin. This process can help tighten that within reason, of course. And I'll be the best judge of that when you come in for your consult. Some people are just desiring targeted fat reduction in specific problem areas. Overall, they're very happy with their weight. They're very happy with how they look. But there's one area which is not looking great and they want help with it. And nothing works better at targeting than the Slim Body Laser. It's just, if you just want to just get the inner part of your thighs because they're maybe looking a little cheesy or a little flocculated appearance, this laser reduces the body fat, shrinks the tissue, tightens the skin without any downtime. And I know I keep repeating that, no downtime, but this is really important when it comes to body sculpting and things like that. So these are some of the reasons why people would choose coming into the laser spa. My experience has been most people that come in to the spa are people who are looking for help. They realize that normal treatment, diet, exercise, when you're younger will get you pretty far. It really does. If you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s and you really commit to like a hard exercise works class or one of these gyms where you run and you jump and you exercise and you climb ropes and you're in your 20s and 30s, it's not a problem. You're going to most likely lose in tone. But what happens is when you get into your 40s and 50s, maybe you've had injuries to your neck, your back, your arms, your legs. You can't lift weights. You can't hang from the rope. I went into one of these HEW classes it was about 5, 6 years ago. And I knew that I needed to exercise more, and it seemed like everybody looked like they were having fun. And I went into the center and I signed up for the 4-week program, never prepay because you might not go back, which is what happened to me. And my first clue that maybe I was in the wrong place was everybody was a lot younger than me. Now I was in my early 50s and I look good and I'm full of energy, but I really felt like, grandpa there. And these kids were young. And one of the first things they had you do is they have this rope that hangs from the ceiling and they want you to climb the rope. Now, I'm from Martin County High School in 1978, 77. I used to climb the rope. It was in the gym and you could scoot up to the top, no problem. Well, I looked at that rope and I looked at the guy, I said, I can't do that. He says, well, we don't expect you to climb the rope. He says, but what I'd like you to do is lay on your back and grab onto the rope with your two hands flat on your back and just pull your upper body up, try to lift yourself off the ground. So I did it. And I instantly thought, I bet everybody's looking at me. Look at this guy. He's laying on his back. He can't even hang on to the rope. In other words, it was embarrassing. And I wasn't real happy about that. And I'd also had an injury to my left shoulder when I was 17, 18 years old. I had broken my shoulder and it has formed some adhesions, which are muscles which are no longer flexible. And it's most of the time it doesn't hurt me. But if you take my arm and stretch it really up high, like I'm hanging from something, it becomes really painful. So most of their exercises, they had a lot of these, you hang things, you're hanging. They have a bar that you hang, you want to do pull-ups, push-ups, chin-ups. And I looked at it and said, I can't do that. He goes, oh yeah, yes, you can. You don't look like, I said, listen to me. I've got adhesions in my shoulder and it is going to hurt a lot. So can we do something else? So again, they had to modify it. And then the next thing they had you do was you went and you ran outside. They brought everybody outside and you had to run to the end of the parking lot. And so it was over by Publix and you'd run out on the street and come back and then run to come back in. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I paying for? I could do this at home. I didn't go back, and that's just what happened to me. And there's a lot of you out there that'll probably have the same history that happens when you decide to exercise and do these things. It was hard. And I owned the Slim Body at the time. So I decided I was going to be more serious about using the laser for my overall wellness than instead of just trying to look better and to feel better. So if you're interested in learning more about the laser, we're located on East Ocean Boulevard, right across the street from the Fresh Market in Stuart. And we have free consultations and we're even having a food drive, you guys. And the food drive is something that we did. And I am going to click it along the banner here. We're having a free canned food drive. Now, the food drive, let me fix something here. It has been extended. There we go. Now I'm a stickler about making sure the spelling is right. So the Slim Body, we're having a food drive, and what it is it's in exchange for 5 cans of food. 5 cans of food. You can have an exam, a consult, and a free set of and a laser session to try the process out in exchange for 5 cans of food. Now, we've done free consults forever. That's really nothing too special. But what is really special about this is you can actually get a laser session, which is a $300 value in exchange for 5 cans of food. As long as you meet with me and you're qualifying, there's no contraindications. We can do that for you. So just give us a call. Go into the spa, give us a call. All right. So what I'm going to go over right now is a little bit about some diet myths and some diet facts. Okay. There's a whole bunch of crazy advice going on about dieting and fat loss. And we call them myths and such. So let's go over that first myth, okay? And right now, the first one is that if you want to lose weight, you have to cut back on carbs to lose weight. Now, let me just remove that. Carbohydrates come in different forms. We have simple carbs and we have complex carbs. Now, a carbohydrate is anything that's not protein and not fat is a carbohydrate, okay? And that would be processed food, sodas, candies, anything which is food, kind of, but not a protein and not a fat is a carbohydrate. And to be very honest with you, there's good carbs and there's bad carbs. And a good carb is fruit and vegetables in their natural state, as close to natural as possible. Of course, fruit can have high sugar, and that can be a losing battle with weight loss. If you're eating too much fruit, it's very hard to lose weight because of the sugar. However, the value in weight loss and in eating carbohydrates, complex carbs, is unsurmountable. It's one of the food of nature's life for us. So does cutting back on carbs lose weight? So the fact is, if you cut back on simple carbs like cookies and candy and things like that, what happens is you will lose weight because those foods make fat. So simple carbs found in foods like cookies and candy, it lacks vitamins, minerals, and there's no fiber in it. It's processed. And as a result of that, cutting back on these sweets is a great way to eat healthier. Foods with complex carbs like whole wheat bread, beans, and low sugar fruit have lots of nutrients that are good for you. So cutting back on carbs, if they're simple carbs, processed food, is really important to lose weight. You really can't lose weight if you don't cut back on those carbs. However, there are good carbohydrates which are beneficial for weight loss, and those would be your fresh vegetables and low sugar fruits. All right. So the next one is, if the label says no fat or low fat, you can eat all you want and not gain weight. Boy, I got another misspelling there, huh? So, and that's a fact. We'll fix that real easy. So no fat or low fat, you can eat all you want and not gain weight. Do you really believe that? I mean, do I have to explain that might not be true? What they're really showing is that many low fat or no fat foods have added sugar, extra starch, or salt to make up for the reduction in fat. These wonder foods often have just as many calories or more than the regular version. So you need to check your nutritional label. If a label says no fat or low fat, you can pretty much assure it's going to be full of sugar, because that's how they make up the difference. Fat is something which makes food palatable. It makes us desire to eat food because fat coats things and it gives us a coating. If you've ever had a no-fat diet, which I have had as a vegan in the past, let me tell you, fat is really important for making food taste better. It's a coating. It carries the flavor around on the food, and it's why people enjoy fat. So when it says low fat or no fat, in order to get that flavor, they're putting a lot of sugar, salt, and spices in it. And that would not be a great idea for losing weight. So you cannot eat all you want just because it says no fat or low fat. You still have to be mindful of the calories, how many calories are in the food, and also something called the glycemic index, how fast that food is turned into sugar, which is the glycemic index. And that's, if you don't know about the glycemic index, just know that it goes from 0 to 100. 100 is considered table sugar. That's the highest amount of sugar you can have, glycemic index. And then the less sugar that food contains, processed sugars and foods, the lower the glycemic index. So celery and broccoli and cauliflower, it's going to have a very low glycemic index because there's very little sugar in it. But if you get something like beets, or you have something like cookies and cakes, hold on one second. Sorry about that. It said my recording time was reached at only 20 minutes, which is supposed to be 30, but okay. So the glycemic index is different than calories, and you need to know what the glycemic index is, because when you have to make a choice of what you're going to eat, what matters is how quickly your body can make it into sugar or glucose. If the body has no steps, if it's very easy to turn it into sugar, that is potentially going to create body fat because it raises your insulin so quickly. So there's high glycemic foods and there's low glycemic foods. All right. And so it's important to understand that when you do that. Okay. There's another thing that people believe, and that is that skipping breakfast makes you gain weight. Have you ever heard that? That, you're missing breakfast and it causes you to gain weight? Well, darling, that's not 100% true, okay? If you're skipping breakfast, it's called fasting. In other words, you're going without any eating. Now, what I have found is that people that eat breakfast, a common sense breakfast with protein, and they drink water, have a better ability to manage weight than ones who skip breakfast and don't drink much water. And a lot of people will instead of eating breakfast, they have a cup of coffee or 2 cups, or maybe they grab something from the processed food aisle up at the Dunkin' Donuts, or grab a bagel or something real quick, sweet bread or a honey bun, and that is like going to set you up for disaster. You want to begin your breakfast, you want to break your fast, which is why they call breakfast, break fast, with a protein. If you start your day out with a protein and drink plenty of fresh water, you're going to have a much more balanced blood sugar profile, and you'll be less likely to make fat, and you'll have more energy. If you want to skip breakfast, I don't have any problem with that. But what's going to happen is you might go too long without eating, and that can cause you to burn protein or muscle instead of fat. So we don't want to go too long without eating. However, I know there's something called intermittent fasting, which a lot of people believe in. And if you're a very disciplined person and you really understand the intermittent fasting, it can be very beneficial for losing weight, as long as you're not challenged with any metabolic disorders. So it's the metabolic disorders that make it hard to lose weight. And that would be the high blood sugar, the high triglyceride, the high cholesterol, the belly of over 40 inches, and also fatty liver disease. These people need more than just skipping a meal. They need some serious help. So I think, let's see what they actually said about it. Fact: eating a healthy breakfast can help you manage your hunger later in the day and help you to say no thanks to unhealthy snacks. No scientific studies have shown that skipping the morning meal leads directly to weight gain. All right. So if you're not hungry the first thing, listen to your body. When you are ready to eat, help yourself to a healthy option like oatmeal with fresh berries. Okay. Here's another myth, that eating at night will make you fat. Well, I would venture to say that eating a lot before you go to bed will probably make you gain weight. It depends on how much food you ate, how much exercise you have, your metabolism, how old you are. There's a lot of factors that come into play here as to people that can get away with it. But as a rule of thumb, I like to say you should be eating the most food when you are the most active. So your biggest meal should be lunch, actually breakfast, because you're breaking the fast. So if you have a good breakfast or you have a big lunch and you're active, you're out moving, you're working, you're exercising, your chances of burning that load, those calories, are very strong. You will burn them. But if you have a big dinner when you're the most sedentary, meaning you're going to go sit down and watch the TV until you doze off, that is a recipe for being fat. Okay. So I don't really believe that eating at night is you have to be very mindful of when we eat. It should be night dinner should be the least amount of calories that you eat during the day because of the fact that you're going to be resting, you're going to sleep. You wouldn't want to go to bed with a full stomach of protein, and where does it go? It's going to be made into fat. So I hope that answers that question to you. People who eat late at night do tend to put on extra weight. One possible reason is that late night eaters tend to choose high calorie treats. Some people who snack after dinner do not sleep well, which can lead to unhealthy cravings the next day. Yeah. All right. So here's another myth or fact. You cannot be overweight and be healthy at the same time. So is someone who's overweight, are they sick or can they be healthy at the same time? I think using your common sense, you can realize that what is overweight? How do you judge what overweight is? So overweight, according to the numbers that we learn as doctors, anything over 25% body fat is considered overweight. So 25 to 30, 25, 26, 27 percentile of body fat is considered being overweight. However, it isn't necessarily a guarantee that you're going to be sick or be unhealthy. Now, the reason what makes being overweight unhealthy is when we keep the weight on for too long. Okay? It's normal for a human to eat a lot because they feel that they're going to go into a time without eating, which is called the winter. So a human who is living in the woods or, in the plains, as we did many, many years ago, 1,000 years ago, they needed to make sure that they put a lot of fat on before the winter came. And then during the winter, they'd burn the fat off because they're not eating. And then they repeat this cycle again. And I think that is a normal, healthy thing for humans. Put weight on, starve ourselves, not starve ourselves, but eat a little so it comes off. And then you put it back on every year. What we're doing in Western culture, because we've refined food and we've developed food 24/7, that we're eating too much every single winter. In other words, we're supposed to be caloric deprived in the winter, but we're eating during the whole winter. And thus we're keeping high levels of fat, even just being overweight over time, not bringing the weight down. And if you're not exercising or you have other habits like cigarette smoking or alcohol or other types of vices, you could become very unhealthy even with a small amount of body fat because, it's just one of the factors. So to answer that question, can you be overweight and healthy? Yes, you can be overweight and healthy. But again, how do you just, what's your definition of health? Some people think health is just not having symptoms. I think health is a lot more than just not having symptoms. Health is having a positive outlook, having good relations in your life, sleeping properly, having an energy to get up and walk around the world and to do the things that you're meant to do. Health is being able to rebound back from when you don't feel well. We're all going to be challenged with sickness and health problems. The person who's healthy bounces back from it. It comes back very quickly. It's not a life sentence for them. And that's how I would look at health, regardless of how much body fat you're carrying. All right. So here's another one, and this comes up quite a bit. Fasting can help you lose weight quickly. And, I'm seeing all of my spelling errors because when I write this, I can't see it on the computer until I put it up on the screen. So here we are. Fasting can help you lose weight quickly. Well, you bet it can. I mean, I'm a proponent of fasting. I like fasting. I think fasting is a metabolic reset tool that we all have. Go without eating. However, fasting needs to be done with lots of water. You can't go 2 or 3 days without water. You will die. But you can go 2 to 3 months without any food and be and not have any problem. In fact, you get healthier. So the proponents of fasting, as far as losing weight quickly, should not be the reason for fasting. The reason to go to fast is to heal the body and to give the body to take some of the stress off the digestive tract. When your body is processing food and you're chewing the food and you're digesting it and you're distributing it to all the different body parts, and the nutrition is now being the waste products are being removed. That's a lot of work for the body to do that. When you fast, meaning when you don't take any food in, your body, that energy that would have been used to digest food and to process it, is now utilized in tissue repair and something called phagocytosis. So fasting, what your body does in order to get the calories it needs, since you didn't eat it in your mouth, your body starts to break down tissue, which it can sacrifice for calories. And that tissue it sacrifices is usually inert tissue, which isn't really helping your body to be healthy. So a good 3-day fast or a week fast, a water fast, I call it a water fast. Never do this without drinking lots of water. Can be very healthy. It can drop your blood sugar. It can help you reduce inflammation. I mean, there's so many proponents of fasting for health, but it's a really kind of a poor way to lose weight, because you're not really allowing the body to heal itself and to repair itself as it needs to do with a really good round of fasting. So I would consider, if you want to lose weight by fasting, you need to just do intermittent fasting, which means you're going to go, let's say there's 24 hours in a day, 12 hours you're awake, 12 hours you're asleep, some of you. And so intermittent fasting means eating one meal, let's say at dinner, of a nice meal at dinner, and then not eating again till the next day at dinner. So you're fasting for that remaining 20 hours. You're not eating any food compared to that one meal you had. That can also be just binge eating for some of you who will do that and then overeat, but we don't suggest that. So that's how that works. Of course, can't really shut that off. So that's one of the things with diet and fasting. All right. Now, the next one would be, you have to set modest goals if you want to lose weight. Is that a fact or is that a myth? You want to set modest goals if you want to lose weight. So I would say that is true. I don't think that's a myth. I think that, if you want to keep weight off and you want to lose weight and not destroy your muscle tone and not destroy your metabolism and not destroy your overall body function, you should do it slowly at the proper increments. This is a journey, not a quick week. And if you do it too quickly, everybody knows recidivism is part of the program. You'll lose that weight and you'll get it back again. And it's the typical yo-yo dieting. And I don't think that that's a great choice. I think you need to set modest goals to lose weight, regardless of what anyone else will tell you that. All right, here's another myth. Slow weight loss is the only way to lose weight and to keep it off. That goes back to just what I just explained. You want weight loss to be slow. And there's some reasons for that, more than I could probably explain here in the next 10 minutes I have, because weight loss is it's very dynamic. And Slow weight loss allows your body to preserve muscle tone and at the same time burn fat. And when you do it slowly, your chances of burning fat are greater than if you did it very quickly, where the body needs calories and uses muscle for energy. So there's this balance that's happening. You've got a balance between how much muscle tone you have, protein in your body, your muscles, and your body fat. And then you have something called stored energy, glycogen, which is your energy stores, which power muscles, not fat. And if you lose weight too quickly, if you just shut off the calories that come into your body, in the beginning, your body is going to react by burning muscle tone. And you don't want to burn muscle to lose weight, because if you burn muscle to lose weight, the scale will show you lost weight, but your internal mechanisms are not healthy at all. All right. So the next one is all calories are equal. You know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize that if I gave you 100 calories of broccoli and cauliflower and lettuce, that the glycemic index, it's going to be a lot different than 100 calories of pound cake. You know, if I gave you a honey bun, which was 200 calories, and I compared it to a salad, which is 200 calories, they are definitely not the same value to your body. That, you know, and that's a fact. So we want to make sure that the calories we eat are able to sustain life, and they're not full of sugar, fat, and salt. All right. So all calories are not equal. There's good carbs and there's bad carbs, and there's good calories, you know, things that have good calorie function. And then there's ones that are not very healthy for you. All right. So we're going to kind of wrap this up. Those are a few diet myths and facts about losing weight. Again, you know, my name is Dr. Rissacker, and I am the doctor, the owner, and a client at my Slim Body Laser Spa. And we can help you. If you have a large amount of weight to lose and you need help, you got to give us a call. If you're metabolically challenged, that means you have metabolic problems such as high blood sugar, high triglycerides, high cholesterol, large belly, 40-inch belly, fatty liver disease. This is affecting about 60% of our population right now. So you might not know that you're challenged metabolically, but you find out when you go to exercise and diet that it just is very slow to work. So that's one of the reasons why people come into the office. We can also help you if you have high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and or chronic arthritis. And the offer is in exchange for some food. I mean, what's better than that? So we got the food ticker going, and you can get a free consultation at 772-223-5885. Bring in 5 cans of food, and we will give you the consult, the exam, and a possible free laser session if you choose to. Okay? So I'm going to say goodbye. I got some other things I have to do. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll get back to you really, really soon. Thank you.